What's going on, Catawba County? Welcome to the heart of Catawba, where community meets conversation. I'm your host, Tyler.
And I'm Laurel. Let's get into it.
This episode is sponsored by Cranford Hospitality, a family-owned business built on good food, hard work, and community. Whether it's a steakhouse night out, a casual barbecue, breakfast with the family, or a drink from their brewery or distillery, everything they do is about bringing people together. We're grateful to be sponsored by a family that puts heart into everything they create. All right, guys, in our first part of the podcast, we always go over local events and stuff. We are trying to figure out the best way to kind of appeal to you guys. So we want your information, your feedback. Me and Laura have just been throwing around ideas of making a flyer every 2 weeks instead of kind of this long form event content. So we are still want to hear from you guys. Do y'all want us to still do this long form event and kind of explain all the events and tell you about them? Or do you just want a flyer that's an easy clickable link to each event?
Yeah, let us know in the comments what you're thinking, and we will move forward from there. We just want to add as much value as we can to your experience.
For sure. We just don't want to, be running on.
We don't want to waste your time, but we also want you to have access to these events.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. And in our next part, we always go to the Voices of the Valley. All right, guys, welcome back with this segment of the Voices of the Valley. We are here with Mr. Aaron Causby. We appreciate you coming to hang out with us. He is the manager of Jenkins Funeral Home, which we might have another Jenkins on the sofa here. So she had to pull in some of her family resources and get some of her people on here.
How to plug the family businesses. You got to.
No, you have to, for sure.
Yeah.
But we appreciate you coming to hang out with us. Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you came from, and who you are.
Sure. I'm the plug.
Perfect.
Yeah. No, I'm
plug.
Aaron Causby. So I'm the manager at Jenkins, as you just said. I've been there for 9 years. And
Wow.
yeah.
Has it been 9 years?
Yeah, coming up on 9 years, right at it. And because my son is 8 next month, and Tucker's 8 next month, and they're 12 days apart, and they weren't born when I started working at Jenkins.
Wow.
So,
Golly, time flies.
Yeah.
When you're having fun. That's what they say.
Almost a decade.
Yep. And then, of course, I pastor a church also in Connelly Springs. Been there for 10 years. So
What's the name of that church?
Connelly Springs Freewill Baptist Church.
Freewill Baptist Church.
Freewill.
And you've been there how long?
10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of that's first of all, that's a long time to be at any place, but that's a long time to be at 2 places too, because I can't imagine how demanding that is.
I'm loyal
as
to
a
Jesus
pastor.
and Jenkins.
I like it.
Oh my God, that was perfect.
I like it.
So tell us where you grew up, where you went to high school. Are you from around here?
Yep. I grew up in Connelly Springs.
Oh, nice.
And so I pastor a church 4 miles from where I grew up. My parents still live there, go to my church. I went to George Hildebrand Elementary. I went to East Burke High School. Graduated 2009.
So you probably went to high school with Tucker and Zach.
I graduated with Zach.
Okay.
Zach and I were good
Wow.
friends in high school. Actually, in middle school, I used to go to his house and spend the night in middle school. And I always thought, man, this guy's so rich because he had a hot tub in his house. and then he would come to my house and hang out. My house was one of our hangout spots. So we would all come over and hang out because I live out in the country. We had 4-wheelers and dirt bikes and all that stuff.
Boy stuff.
So, yeah. So we played basketball together, known each other since we were probably 10.
Small world.
So
Wow. That's funny. I didn't know they went to East Burke.
Who? Tucker and Zach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, Tucker's younger than us by a little bit.
He's Laurel's age.
Okay. But
Oh, we're the
Zach's
same
my
age?
You and Tucker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Because I'm 30. He just turned 31.
Okay. Okay.
Zach's family bought Granny's kitchen when we were in probably like 11th grade. And so he would bring breakfast to me in homeschool, or not homeschool, homeroom.
Yeah.
He'd bring breakfast to me every morning.
That's hilarious.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh. I used to go to the Granny's Kitchen up there. I always get confused at that location, but where the 4 Points is, going down 10, I used to go there and get breakfast all the
Claremont?
time. Yeah. Okay. I don't know what city to call that because it's like
It's
four things.
Claremont, Newton, Conover, kind of right there. It's kind of all three.
Go this way to go here, Catawba, Claremont. Okay. Anyways, so what did you do after high school? Because it's involving to be a pastor, right? Like, is there school involved in that? What does that look
There
like?
can be. I did not go to seminary. I went, so when I graduated, I felt a sense of like the Lord calling me into ministry. I didn't know what that looked like. My parents, we went to church, but my dad's not a preacher, anything like that. I felt like the Lord was calling me that way. Didn't really know what that would look like. And I didn't want to do that because I grew up in church. And I thought, that's the last thing I want to do. I don't like to read. I don't want to talk in front of people. And you kind of have to do both of those things to be a preacher.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm good. But through a series of events, I had a car wreck with the preacher in the car with me. And the Lord kind of brought me back to that. And so 2 days before I left for college, I was going to go to Appalachian State. And I wanted to be a special ed teacher. That's what I wanted to do.
I could see that for sure.
Yeah, that's kind of, my mom is that. And
Oh, okay.
now my wife was that. She's a stay-at-home mom now with her kids. But that's what my plan was. And I just backed out from all that and said, all right, I'm going to be a preacher. And so I started preaching like the next week. I preached twice in like the next 7 days. And then the Lord just kind of opened doors from there and been preaching ever since. So I went to nursing school. I got interested in that. So it took me like several years to figure out what I settled in and what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I went to nursing school, didn't really enjoy that. Graduated from nursing school, but I didn't really like that. And I was always interested in funeral service. Not necessarily what I'm doing now, but going to funerals, seeing people open the door, escort you in, seeing the funeral director walk the family in, and just how they interacted with the family. I thought, man, I think I would like that. And most of my classes transferred from nursing school to funeral school.
Oh, and did you go through Fayetteville? Mm-hmm. Okay. Because that's the only one, is that the only one in the state?
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
only one in the state.
Okay. That does the funeral director license for people who don't
Correct.
know what we're
I
talking
didn't know
about.
there was a license to be a.
Oh, yeah.
A funeral director.
It's involved. Like, talk
It's
about
very
some of those
involved.
classes. There's a lot of chemistry
Yeah,
and
I'm
stuff.
interested
People don't
to-
even...
Yeah, so it varies state by state, but in North Carolina, you can either be a funeral director, you can be an embalmer, or you can be both.
Okay.
They call that funeral service licensee. So if you're going to do embalming, there's a lot of chemistry, biology.
Anatomy.
Anatomy. Because you're using anatomy to embalm someone.
100%.
So there's a lot of that. And on the funeral side, there's a lot of like psychology classes dealing with grief, grieving people, the stages of grief, all those kinds of things. And then you have religion classes too, because, we serve every religion. Mm-hmm. So you have to kind of be familiar with, Catholicism, the Hmong population.
Yep.
There's a big Hmong community here in Catawba County. So we serve all of them, most of them. I won't say all of them, but we have Hmong funerals a lot. They do things completely different than
Very different.
a normal like Baptist family. Like
Yeah.
they rent out the funeral home for 3 days. They stay at the funeral home,
Overnight,
They-
celebrate.
yeah. They basically have a 72-hour party.
Yeah.
In the funeral home.
Bagpipes.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's very, very interesting. There's a lot
That's
of
cool, though.
differences in these cultures. I find that so fascinating.
Like I met with a family yesterday that is Lahu. So they live in California. They're not Hmong, they're Lahu, and your dad has taught me so much about this. You can recognize by their last name, but they're completely different than a Hmong family. And then we serve a big Hispanic population here. They're typically Catholic, Methodist, Lutheran, Jehovah's Witness, even Jewish families. So you kind of have to be well versed in every Mormon, the Church of Latter-day Saints. You have to be well versed in every religion a little bit to know how to serve them, because they all have their little, things that they want to do.
That's cool.
So you learn all that in school. Then you have to do your schooling. It's an associate's degree. Then you do an apprenticeship, which I did. It's supposed to be a year. I was preaching, pastoring, which I still am, but our church was growing. My wife and I kept having kids. And so my apprenticeship went 2.5 years before I got my license. Then you take your boards and then you're good.
That's interesting.
That's
for
better
sure.
that you took your time, though. I mean,
Yeah, I took
are
my
you
time.
glad that you did?
Yeah, I mean, I probably dragged my feet longer than I should have. But, it all worked out.
But you're also juggling. That's a lot. I mean, how many kids do you have?
Almost 4.
Almost 4. 3.25.
Number 4 is due in June.
Yay, so soon. Okay, tell us how you met your wife.
I met her through a church that I preached at when I was 18.
Okay.
I didn't meet her then, but that church. So when I was 18, there was a church in Ashe County in Glendale Springs, like close to West Jefferson. Mm-hmm. And the preacher had me come up for the weekend and preach at his church. They put me in a hotel, which was the Nation's Inn, a roach hotel in Ashe County, because there's not any hotels much up there. But we stayed there, went to a cookout, and I preached there. Fast forward 3 years later, the guy that we went to his house for the cookout introduced me to her. And she was at Appalachian. She was a freshman there. And so we dated all the way through her time there.
Interesting. I wonder, like, because God has a funny way of working things out. I wonder if you had gone a different direction and you did. I mean, it would have come full circle how,
And I've
according
told her
to his
that
plan. I wonder
because
if you had went to App, which y'all have met anyway.
we would have been in the same scholarship group.
Shut up.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's funny.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. That stuff gives me cold chills.
Yeah, we've talked about that. So,
So cute.
there used to be a scholarship called the Teaching Fellows, and they did away with that after I graduated. But I would have been in that group, and then she got the equivalent of that, so she would have been in that group too. I would have been a senior, and she would have been a freshman, but we would have been in the same.
Y'all would have
in the
just
same
kept
group.
meeting because it was meant to be.
It was meant to be.
I love that. So tell us, okay, you said you were apprentice. So what did that look like? How did you get introduced to Jenkins? Is that the first funeral home experience you had?
So I live in Burke County, so I'm like a mile from Heritage Funeral
Okay.
Home. There's only 2 funeral homes in Burke County that I know of. There's Heritage and Sossman's in Morganton.
Okay.
But when I was in nursing school, one of the nursing instructors is really good friends with your parents,
Okay.
Robin Caldwell.
Oh,
and
yeah,
Kevin.
yeah.
So Robin was a instructor at nursing school.
Nice.
So they take, and we still do this now. Now I lead this, but the nursing class goes to Jenkins every year.
Oh, yeah.
And they do like
Show
a
'em
seminar,
around.
they do a tour, they talk about how nursing relates to funeral service, how we can help them, how they can help us. And that's how I knew where Jenkins was.
Okay.
So I
You went on a tour?
I went on a tour there when I was in nursing school.
Oh, nice.
And then when I figured out and settled I was going to be a funeral director, I was like, well, I'll just email them so I emailed Ben from my truck. And I was like, hey, I'm kind of interested in funeral service. You know, what does that look like? Can I come down and talk? And he responded, yes. And I went down, and I didn't know Ben. I didn't know your dad. So I walked in, and your grandma was at the front desk, that huge front desk. Like, as it's massive. It's not there now, but. And this little grandma popped up over the thing, and she had arthritis in her hand, so she was like, "Hey," and she was like, "What are you here for?" And I said, "Well, I'm here to interview for a job." And she said, "Well, they're going to be back in just a few minutes. I'm crazy, grandma," is what she said.
That's what she called herself.
Yeah, and so Ben showed up first. Ben interviewed me, and we hit it off because he's just a couple years older than me.
Easy to talk to.
We were like best friends in 5 minutes. And so we talked and hit it off, and he's like, yeah, I mean, I think you're pretty much hired. And then he was like, well, we need to wait for Dad to get here. And then your dad walked in, and he was so intimidating
So intimidating.
and just serious.
And he's like looking at you like he already knows that you're making a mistake.
Yeah.
Like every word is like, you've already not impressed me.
Yeah. And he immediately started talking about, well, you're not going to make much money to begin because,
Let's be realistic here. If you're in it for the money, you should just leave.
Yeah.
He's pretty direct.
Yeah. But he was like, well, why don't we just put you on the schedule and you can work a funeral and see if you like it. And I said, okay. He said, you got a suit? And I said, yep, I got a suit. I'm a preacher. And I worked a service the next day.
Thrown to the wolves.
Thrown right at it.
Yeah.
And it's a funny story. So it was me, your dad, Patrick Sprinkle, and George.
And George Biscuits.
Patrick Sprinkle. Why do I know that name?
He's from around here. He's a
Did he
nice
go
guy.
to Newton?
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure he did.
I don't think
Did he have
lives
really
around-
long hair?
He has. Hippie guy. He worked at the funeral home for a little while.
I think I played tennis with him at Newton.
Okay.
Because I don't know why that name just it clicked
He's
in my
funny.
head.
So he
That's
wa-
a good crew.
Yeah, he was the apprentice when I started. And so we went to this huge Lutheran church for a Saturday morning service. So I'm Baptist. I've never been to a Lutheran service. They had the casket turned funny and had a pall on it. I didn't even know what a pall was. It's like a huge drape that goes over the casket. And so I'm just observing. And so at the end of the service, they last about an hour, Lutheran services do. So I was sitting there with your dad. You know, we're just trying to get to know each other a little bit. We just met yesterday. Patrick and George say, well, we got to go to the bathroom. And so they go to the bathroom. And your dad's like, well, let's see where we are in the service. So we go up to the doors of the sanctuary to see the services. Like, they're on the last verse of the last song. And he's like, well, where is Patrick and George? And I said, oh, they're in the bathroom. And he was like, right now? And I said, yeah. And he was like, well, we got to go get the casket right now. And at a Lutheran service, so with the altars like here, normally the casket's here. In a Lutheran service, it's perpendicular. And the feet are towards the altar. And at the end of the service, you have to ceremonially rotate the casket 180 degrees and go out feet first. Well, I don't know any of this.
What?
I just my first
Yeah,
funeral.
how would you?
Yeah.
And so your dad's like, just follow me.
Follow my lead.
And so I'll go walking down there
determined
to push the casket on my first funeral. And then we grab it and he starts turning it. And I'm like, what are we doing? Like,
Follow me.
Just keep turning. And so we turn and we walk out and it all worked out. But yeah, that's kind of how
Day one, interview. Day two, we're about to do a Lutheran funeral.
That just sounds stress.
it was stressful.
Yeah.
It was stressful because I didn't know what I was doing.
For sure.
And you didn't run, though. You didn't run.
I didn't run. I liked it.
Yeah. What did you like about it that first day? What sticks out to you? Aside from the chaos.
I like just being there with the family.
Yeah.
Leading them.
Comforting.
Showing them where to go.
Yeah.
Just being their guy to go to.
Yeah.
So I really like that part. I kind of do that already.
Naturally.
In my pastor role.
Yeah.
I mean, people call you when something bad happens.
Yeah.
And that's the worst thing that can happen.
For sure.
You lose
Yes.
somebody.
Yeah, literally.
So it works. If I was going to do anything in tandem with pastoring, this is it. Like, they work really well together.
How do you think you came to know that, like, in your heart of hearts? Like, what confirmations do you feel like you got to really solidify that for you? I know you said that car
I had a
wreck.
couple church members pass away. You mean like for the calling to preach?
Yeah.
In the ministry?
Yeah.
It was just an overwhelming feeling that I couldn't get away from.
Yeah.
It kept me up at night. It's all I thought about.
Yeah.
I had a couple of guys call me and ask me to come speak at their church, and I wasn't even a preacher yet. So it just all kind of was pointing that way.
So how do
At
you
18.
Yeah, how do you feel like you gained, cuz I know that must have been hard, like at 18, like how do you think that you got the confidence to just go up there in front of those people, and how did you know what to say? Like did you just step back and just Holy Spirit take over? You
No,
like
I
how
mean,
did that work? How did you know?
So the Lord had given me my first sermon before I even.
Ooh, tell me about this. Yes.
So he had given me my first sermon. I wrote it down in my Bible out of 1 Samuel chapter 1. I don't know how to explain it. It was there.
Yeah.
It was like preaching's one of those things where it's like the Lord pours it into you, and then he does that so you can get up and pour it out. Mm-hmm. And then he pours something else.
Okay.
And then the next Sunday you get up. So it's always there. Since I was 18, that's been 17 years ago. It's just always it's in my mind.
Do you carry a notepad around?
I used to. I use my notes app on my phone now.
Oh, okay.
But I have sermons for days in my phone.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I just couldn't imagine at 18, like she said, having the confidence and having the just structure to go stand up in front of a population and just speak.
Well, I didn't really have the confidence. So what I did is I started preaching in nursing homes.
Oh, nice.
And so
Judgment-free zone.
Yeah, these people have.
They're just grateful for you to be
there. They don't
there.
even have their teeth in. They
Yeah.
ate supper already.
Yeah.
They're ready to go to bed. But I would go get them. So I did 4 nursing homes.
I'd go get them.
Go get them.
I'm going to get your soul.
I like it.
So
Aggressive.
I called 4 nursing homes and I said, can I preach once a month, every Tuesday? So I would go once a month to each one. There were 4. So I preached every Tuesday at a nursing home.
Nice.
I would go to, it used to be called Hickory Manor. I don't know it's called something different now. It's like where State Employees Credit Union is.
I think I know what you're talking about. Brookstone or
Baptist
Brook
Church.
something. Brook something.
Whatever it
I know
is.
what you're talking about.
It's there. Autumn Care in Marion.
Wow.
I would drive all the way there, and College Pines, which is close to my house, and Autumn Care in Drexel, I think. So anyway, I would go to these nursing homes and preach, and that's really where I learned to preach, was nursing homes. You know, I have to, churches at 7 in the cafeteria.
7 p.m.?
Yeah. So I would have to get there. That's past their bedtime.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I would
And half of them are snoozing.
Oh, yeah. I've got some crazy stories preaching in nursing homes.
Oh, I can imagine.
But that's where I learned to preach, and I did that for like years. And so I would go 6 p.m., get there an hour early, go around room to room. Hey, you want to come hear me preach tonight? And most of the time it'd be like either no response or just no. But I'd get like 10 or 12 of them.
Yeah.
Wheel them in there, set them up. And I was learning to play the piano a little bit, so I'd play a little song for them and then get up and preach for like, I don't know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
I love it.
And that's really...
That's how your confidence built.
That's where I learned to preach.
Aw, learn to preach in a nursing home. That's so sweet.
I mean, I love it because you would, I mean, that's what I would have to do or figure, maybe not, I wouldn't have maybe gone that route, but I mean, a route similar to that
Gotta
is
practice.
Yeah, you have to learn and
That's
just
very
grow.
creative.
Yeah, that's a very creative
Yeah,
way to,
I mean,
way to do it.
So I thought, you know, nursing home is going to be a place where I can kind of learn to talk in front of people, judgment free zone.
Yeah.
These people are in their, you know, 80s, 90s, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my first times I ever did that, I went to Autumn Care in Drexel. You know, you don't get paid to do this. Like, I'm broke.
This is volunteer.
Yeah.
I went to college during the day. I drove all the way to Marion. I go and I round up like 6 people, and there's one lady named Opal. She would always come. And so 3 or 4 weeks into it, I roll Opal in there and lock her wheelchair and all that. And I sing like Precious Memories or Amazing Grace or something on the piano. And I get up behind the pulpit and I say, does anybody have a word of testimony, anything you'd like to say, you know, before I preach? And Opal said, shut up. She said, we're tired of hearing you. We don't like you coming here. We don't like you.
Dang, Opal.
I was like,
I thought this was going to be
I was
wholesome.
like, I came here for encouragement, Opal. I was like, anybody else? You know,
Anybody.
please.
Anybody but Opal. Anybody but Opal, please.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Here we thought it was a judgment-free zone.
Yeah.
I drove 45 minutes for free for
get
encouragement.
reamed.
Opal just put a dagger in my
She just
heart.
tore me down. She twisted too,
Hey,
man. Dang.
she was getting you ready to go out into the world.
She was preparing me to
man.
pastor.
for sure.
I don't mean to laugh, but for real, yeah, that's a good preparation.
I mean, yeah, for sure.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Do you have any other interesting stories that stick out about pastoring or funeral service or anything just random that comes to mind?
Gosh, there's so
I know
many.
there's so many stories.
There's so many. I mean, we deal with so much every week. You know, it's been really cool to serve in both roles as a pastor and a funeral director because, you know, it helps the funeral home. My church has grown. The Lord's really blessed our church. So when somebody passes away, if I'm able to bring their family to Jenkins and serve them, they can see what I do. They can see our facility because they probably wouldn't come down there. I mean, it's a good ways.
Yeah, Connelly
you know,
Springs, yeah.
to drive to Jenkins.
Yeah.
They'd have to drive past several funeral homes to get there.
Right.
But it's been really cool to be able to serve those families through Jenkins, through my work, what I
Yeah.
do. And
it's
sti-
personal.
yeah,
They have a
it's-
relationship with you.
Yeah, and still be their pastor.
Yeah.
So I can be their pastor and their funeral director.
You can help them through the grief on like sort of both ends, like from the faith side and from the like
Yeah.
present, actually having to execute moves on this.
For sure. They see what I do, and I'm able to help them as a funeral director. And then on the other side, I had a family this last Sunday at my church I met through Jenkins. Her grandma passed away. I sit down with them as a funeral director. Who's going to preach the funeral? You know, right in the obituary, you put the pastor's name in, or we don't have a preacher. And I said, okay, you want us to provide one? Yep, we need you. What about you? I saw you're a preacher. Would you do it? And so I preached her grandma's funeral. Then her dad passes away about a month later. She calls me, hey, my dad passed away. Same thing. I'm the funeral director. I preach her dad's funeral. And then Sunday they showed up at church, their whole family.
That's awesome.
Which is cool.
Do you do a lot of pastoring and funeral directing in the same?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the chaplain, you know, so at Jenkins. So a lot of people don't have a pastor, don't have any connection to church, and so I go in, and even if I don't meet with them as the funeral director, I'll go in and sit down with them, learn about their loved one, and make the service, how they want it to be.
Okay.
So,
How many funerals would you say you've attended now in the last
funerals
years?
I've attended?
Yeah,
Oh
in the
my
last
goodness.
9 years or even
Lord,
longer.
it's thousands.
Thousands.
Yeah, I mean, we serve 300 families a year just at Jenkins.
Yeah.
Not all those are funerals.
Right.
But if let's say 200 of them are going to have some type of ceremony,
Yeah.
whether it's a memorial service or just a gathering of friends or a full funeral. And the most popular thing we do now is do a full funeral and then cremation. So people don't buy a burial plot, they don't buy a vault, a casket, they rent a casket and then have a full funeral just like normal and then do cremation at the end.
Yeah.
That's what we do most of. So it's thousands.
So, gosh, I had a question and I got distracted about the full funeral thing. How do you think, because I know personally, this, because this is my family's business and it would have been a natural progression for me to ease into that, but I don't feel personally capable of being able to take on that grief. How do you think that you've been able to process that? And I know you feel called to assist these families, but how do you feel like you've been able to process that? Not let it affect you. Yeah. Because I just want to cry with people,
Yeah, I mean, it definitely takes time to do that. I used to get in trouble with your dad so often because I'm so compassionate. I'm so get in there with you and just sit down and, just cry at the table with you.
Yeah.
And I would, when we got to the end, after they've picked everything out and we'd have the contract, I'd be like, oh my gosh, now you have to pay me.
Yeah.
And
feels icky.
And your dad told me one time, he called me in his office and he was like, put on your pastor hat, go in there, meet with the family, pour your heart into them. And then at the end, take off your pastor hat. He was like, you like to get paid, right?
Yeah.
You like to get a paycheck every other Friday. So take off your pastor hat, put on your business hat, and you can still be compassionate and be a funeral director.
Yeah.
And have that. So it took a long time for me to
split that up.
Yeah, for me to balance the compassion part and the business part. But I can honestly say this, Jenkins is a ministry. It really is. And that's not just me that says that. People say that all the time.
What do you mean by that?
Jenkins is not in it for, just a profit. We're there to build relationships with people, to celebrate people's lives, to support their family. And I mean, that's really what we do every day. So It took a long time for me to process that and work through that. But at the end of the day, if I just sit down at the table and I just cry with people, if I went to my doctor and I was sick and he just came in and just gave me a big hug and sat there and cried with me.
We still haven't solved the problem.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, thanks, doc.
Yeah.
But I need antibiotics.
Now I need you to help me get better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so a lot of what we do is education, giving people their options in a compassionate way. And I'll say this, we lead with compassion. And I don't mean this in a bad way, but it's kind of like a nurse or a doctor or anything like that. It turns into your job, what you do. It was actually a worry that I had when I started working here. I was like, what if I just get numb to it?
That was going to be my next question.
What if I get numb to it?
What if you get numb and then you don't feel anything at all?
Yeah, if
because that's all you see.
My loved one dies and I just go into work mode.
Right.
And then my grandpa died. And when I took him to the funeral home, it all kind of shifted. And you go from work mode to you're just a grieving family member.
Yeah.
This is my grandpa.
Yeah.
And so
you just have more.
Grateful.
You're more educated.
Yeah, you're more educated and
on the process.
You know
what to
happen.
expect.
Correct. But even and I don't mean this in a bad way, but when your grandma passed away.
Yeah. I was worried my dad was going to numb out and go in work mode.
Yeah. When your dad's mom passed away in Fayetteville, all the funeral knowledge. Like, he's the expert.
Yeah.
He knows everything there is to know about funeral service. When his mom died, all that just kind of goes out.
Left. Yeah.
And it's just like, this is my mom.
Yeah.
And so it's funny how that happens, and
is.
it's weird. But grief is
Your brain
that
dumps.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like an adrenaline dump.
And I saw him do that, and he would call me and be like, okay, what do we do next?
Yeah. And you're
And
like,
like,
that's interesting
this is our
coming
job,
from
like,
someone
yeah.
who, yeah. What an honor to be able to step into that role in that way. Because that's really something I hadn't considered.
Yeah.
But I did appreciate, that was one thing I was really happy to see too through Meemaw's funeral and her passing, and that process was like all the people who stepped up and showed up, like, and they did it in such a way that just, I could tell my dad and all of us really had a lot of peace. So
Yeah,
that
for
that
sure.
is, I understand how that's a ministry too.
It is. And I was honored to be able to preach her funeral. I preached her funeral.
I know we're boohooing on the front row.
That's awesome.
Me and my cousin were like wailing, and then oh man, you're good. It's all good until the end. Like you're walking out, and then you hear the bagpipes, and you're like,
My goodness.
man,
Yeah, the bagpipes got
the
me.
bagpipes get you every time.
They did. And your mama she was just such a sweet little lady.
Gosh, she is.
Both your grandmas were. When Linda passed away, man, that was a big loss for me.
Yeah.
I loved that lady.
Yeah. Golly, she's so sassy. I miss both the grandmas. That was definitely a loss, but I mean, you know, it is what it is, and I appreciate everybody who was there through the
sure.
journey and the process. What questions do you have about funeral service?
I think pretty much.
I've been taken over.
No, you're good. You asked the right questions. Because you know the questions to get
I
the
know
right
the
answers.
business.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, we were talking about being numb. So we're not numb. You don't get numb. That's the answer.
Sure.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
You don't get numb. I mean, you definitely have to detach from it a little bit.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like people always say, like, I could do your job, but if it was a baby or if it was a child, there's no way.
Yeah.
And I thought that too when I went into it.
Yeah.
But like the embalming process, restoration process, you're getting, what a gift you're getting to give this mom or this dad to make their baby look like they're natural, look like they're sleeping, put them in their outfit, and that mom gets to hold their baby one more time. Like what a gift
Yeah.
that we're able to do that.
Yeah, I don't know if I could make that one happen. That would be tough for me, especially like
It's
with
tough for
kids.
As a parent, yeah.
It's tough for us. But what an opportunity to be able to do something like, and it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
It's
It's about
definitely
the
not.
lens. I think it is about the lens. Like you're not looking at it like, oh, this sucks. You're looking at it like, what an honor that I get to support.
For sure.
And if you look at it that way, I can see how that would keep you from going numb.
100%.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, you get to, show the mom their baby one last time.
Yeah, or even an adult. I mean, when somebody passes away, they're in a hospital bed.
Yeah.
Or, maybe it's an accident,
Yeah.
something like that. You get to create a good experience for these people to view one last time.
Yeah.
And, I mean, there's only one field that gets to do that, and that's funeral service. And so it's, like I said, it's not for everybody, but it's really cool to get to see.
Where do you see your role at Jenkins and with your church simultaneously? What do you see as like the process of evolution in the next 10 years? Now that you're 10 years into both,
Yeah,
roughly.
I mean, things are definitely busier now than they were then. When I started at Jenkins, we were doing 100 calls, 100 families a year, and my church had about, 50 people. Now, Jenkins is doing 300 plus calls. Your dad and brother have expanded, so they have other funeral homes also. So that's grown. And my church, I mean, we had 190 Sunday.
That's
at our
awesome.
church. So things are definitely busier. And
Golly.
10 years ago, I had no kids.
True.
Yeah.
And now I have 4.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, that makes sense in the beginning when we were talking about hunting. I'm like,
Yeah.
no wonder you don't have time. Like, because I imagine like you're not just like Monday through Friday is like work, but then funerals happen on the weekends.
Every weekend.
Church happens on the weekends. Like, you don't have a day off.
Not really. I mean, when I do have a day off, I make it all about my kids.
Right.
All about my family.
Yeah.
And, we try to balance everything out. Like I came in this weekend and worked a funeral for a church member's family.
Yeah.
And I was off this weekend, but I'll make up for it next week.
Right.
I'm going hunting next week.
There you go. There it is. It's about balance.
Yeah, you got to balance.
Is there any other extracurricular things that you and your family like to do? Besides, like when you have time off, are you like a Disney family? Are you like a parks
We're
family?
going to Disney in 3 weeks.
Okay, I thought so.
I love Disney.
Good.
I've only been once.
Really?
Yeah, and that was a year and a half ago.
Okay.
I won the trip through our company Christmas party.
Woo!
I love it. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. And I thought, man, this is going to be free, and like $14,000 later, I was like, dear Lord,
Oh
Yeah.
man.
it's
that was-
unbelievably expensive.
Wow.
I went for 2 weeks on my honeymoon to
Oh
Disney.
my goodness.
Me and my wife.
2
yeah.
weeks?
Yeah, 2 weeks. We went to every park,
that's
2 days. Took like 3 rest days in the middle. But we walked 87 miles in 11 days.
Holy cow. That's crazy.
It's
didn't
go,
know-
go, go
I
down
didn't know
there.
anything about it before we went the first time. I'm obsessed. That's all I think about. I was checking wait times yesterday.
What do you mean,
the
wait
Disney
times?
app.
For
if I-
rides?
yeah. Like if
how
I was
long?
at-
If I was there right now, how long would I be
correct.
waiting?
If I was at Disney right now, it's only 30 minutes for, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Would it be
Well,
nice to have a private plane?
You have to plan, like my wife will attest to this. She'll laugh at me for even going down this rabbit hole, but I mean, you have to literally plan your day exactly within minutes.
Yeah.
If you want to do everything there is to do at a Disney park, it better be, okay, 5 minutes, I'm here. Then this wait time is going to be 15 minutes. Then I can get off and be there by X or whatever. And she literally had a notebook planned out. So we got to do everything that we wanted to do.
Okay, Dixie.
That's how I am.
You have to.
That's how I am this trip. If you show up to Disney without preparing,
You need an itinerary.
you're going to get ran over.
You're gonna get lost.
You're going to know
And you're doing that with 3.5 kids?
3.5 kids. Yeah. So
Wow.
this
I
time,
yeah, right.
Like we're going in 3 weeks. We're going for a week.
And she's pregnant. How
gonna be-
far? 7 months? What is that, 7 months?
She's going to be 29 weeks pregnant when we go. So just 10 weeks.
That's
left.
rough.
Yeah. And so we're going to drive. We flew last time. We're going to drive. I have everything. I used a travel agent this time to help with that.
Nice.
I did it all myself last time. But this time, we've already got our outfits laid out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bro, like it's
Heck
real
yeah.
strategic how you have to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to.
But you got
man.
to maximize your time.
You got to
too,
maximize
yeah.
your time. But hobbies other than I do enjoy hunting. Here lately, I've been really into Bob Ross.
Oh, okay.
I love it.
Yeah. What started that? Did you watch the documentary?
So I would go. Your dad's really big about going out to lunch.
Make sure you bring an extra cup of ice.
Yes. So her dad is like 9:30 in the morning. We open at 9. He's like, so what's everybody thinking about lunch today?
Oh, he's hungry. That man, if he doesn't have breakfast, he's already planning lunch.
And typically it's like, which Mexican place do you want to go to?
Mm-hmm.
And we go like right across the street at
Dos
at
Amigos.
Dos Amigos on 4th Street. We go there a lot. We go to Tres Hermanos a lot in Maiden, which
Yeah.
your mom won't go to because she don't like Maiden. So she won't go there.
She still got a grudge.
But it's funny because I'm like in their family.
Yeah.
No, like literally.
her bosses are my bosses are her brother, her mom, her dad. Like,
Yeah. You might as well be in the fam.
yeah, correct. Like when Ben calls me her brother, he'll be like, "Have you talked to Dad today?"
It's like our
I
dad.
talked to your dad today. But so your dad's really big into lunch. Well, he's working at other places now, and so I have been going out and getting my lunch, typically Chipotle, and I'll bring it back to my office. So I have a private office. I can shut the door and just kind of relax for a little bit. And I'll get on YouTube and watch preaching or hunting or whatever. Bob Ross popped up. I never watched Bob Ross when I was a kid, ever. I knew who he was, but I knew nothing about him. It was like a related video. So I watched it and it just chilled me out. I was so relaxed.
It's like ASMR for you.
Yeah, I was so relaxed.
It's got such a calming voice.
He does.
He calmed me down so much. So I did that for like a week. The next week, this only goes back to December. So at Jenkins, we were going to ring the bell for Salvation Army, and we were at Hobby Lobby. And so I went in to use the restroom to take a break from ringing the bell, and they had Bob Ross starter kits. And so I bought one and some canvases. I bought the whole thing, and I went back to the office. And after everybody left, I was like, I'm going to paint a Bob Ross. And so I started.
Because it's pretty short. How long is it? It's like 20, 30 minutes? Yeah.
Like 30 minutes.
Reasonable.
And so I started painting, and I've been all into it.
Yes.
My kids paint with me.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
My mom bought me a Bob Ross shirt from Goodwill.
Yes,
I love
you
it.
never know
Happy
what you're
Tree
gonna-
University.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so I've been really
New
into
hobbies.
that.
Okay. That's really soothing though too, because
is.
it's a good way. I don't think people realize like how impactful like being creative like that is, because you're focused on something, but you're also not at the same time. So it's
Well,
like
you
a
can-
sense of relief for your brain.
Yeah, I was about to say, you can turn off.
leave, but you're still doing
Yeah.
motor skills.
What part you need to turn off and just pretty much eliminate all the distractions
It's like
from.
healthy dissociation.
Yeah.
100%. It was so therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
And with as crazy as my life is, it was just something I could disconnect for like an hour or something. And I could just worry about these happy little trees and
Yeah.
putting snow on the mountain and
Yeah.
all this stuff. And now if we go in our living room, there's like Bob Ross everywhere, Bob Ross paintings. Like I covered up the pictures of our kids with Bob Ross paintings.
That's hilarious.
These are going to be worth millions.
Yeah,
That's so
Well, let me know when you're ready to have an art show.
I will.
I got
will.
some
Actually,
art connections.
have you met Mason that works for us? He works
You know-
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
His name sounds familiar. Was he
Well-
at the Christmas party?
Yeah.
I'm sure I
It's
met him.
Frank's son.
Okay.
I painted a Bob Ross for him. He wanted one, so I painted it and like signed it and gave it to him.
That's awesome.
Do you
I
have
love
an
that.
artist like name, or you just put Aaron?
No, I just put my name.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Any
That's
other
fun.
hobbies? Family man. You're too
yeah.
busy really for anything
Yeah, I was
else.
about to say, it's crazy you even have time to paint.
The fact
Yeah.
that you're painting.
If I
that's
get free
impressive.
time, I'm gonna be with my kids.
Yeah.
Or be hunting. I enjoy hunting.
Yeah.
I really do.
Is there anything else random you feel like you want to share about Jenkins or your church or the journey or the process, the next 10 years?
You asked me about the next 10 years. You know, things change so much
It's hard.
as time goes on. Like I hope 10 years from now I'm still doing the same thing, just on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
My role has kind of changed with Jenkins to more of a, I mean, I'm in the day-to-day stuff. I meet with families, work funerals, all that stuff. But my role's kind of changed into more of a PR role too. And we have a PR lady. But I'm out and about a lot, making connections, working events, taking pastors out to lunch, that kind of deal.
Yeah. Networking.
Networking, I do a lot of that.
How do you feel about that?
I love it.
Are you glad that your roles transition that way?
Yes,
Okay.
because I kind of got bogged down with the office stuff.
Yeah. Administrative stuff.
I'm
And
just
that
not-
keeps you from.
That's not me.
Yeah.
And
I can tell that's not your.
it's not me.
Yeah.
Doing payroll and spreadsheets and stuff
No.
like that's not.
Right.
I will procrastinate that stuff and put it off until I
Last
get in
It's
minute.
way too late.
Yeah.
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 So I've handed all that off to my assistant manager.
Awesome.
Which is awesome because
Awesome.
she don't like people.
Okay. Good.
Perfect.
No,
So
she, don't
she
like
can
people.
lock
She's really
in on-
introverted.
Yeah.
She don't want to be out front.
Yeah.
When I heard her, she's like, I'm behind the scenes.
I don't want to.
person.
I don't want to see anybody.
Yeah.
Good.
So I handed all that off to her. So that makes her
Perfect.
happy. And I get to do.
That's perfect.
What I wanna
That's
do.
something I think people need to realize too in business roles. You got to put people where their strengths are.
And my strength is not that.
Yeah.
And we found that out because I was dropping the ball so bad on stuff on that. And I'm like, I don't want to do this stuff.
Yeah.
I hate this stuff.
Yeah.
And so, and Ada's like, hand it to me. I love that.
Yeah.
So
Good.
it works
That's
out
beautiful.
Perfect.
Well, that's exciting. I'm very glad that you came.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Your
Yeah.
story is awesome, and I'm really glad that you're with my family. I know you've added so much value to this and the other companies, and I'm glad that your support for my dad and my brother. They all speak very highly of you, and I know my grandma did too.
Well, I love your family. I really do.
They're good people.
They're like my family.
Yeah, they're good people. Well, any other questions?
Nope. I think I'm good. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I learned a lot for sure.
Oh yeah,
Definitely impressed that you started preaching at such a young age because that.
yeah.
I mean,
It's
that's
been
just
a cool journey, and my
mind-blowing.
church took me in. Of course, they only had 20-something people.
Yeah.
but they took me in when I was young.
I mean,
They voted me in when I was 23.
Oh, you got voted in.
Yeah.
that speaks a lot of the type of person that you are, there
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, I didn't have to win many votes when there's only 20 of them. I just have to win 10 of them.
I mean, yeah, true. But
I guess that's
still,
true.
even to
But they
get
believed
10,
in you.
Yeah.
It's been a cool journey, and I would love to spend my whole ministry at my church
Yeah.
and my whole funeral director career at Jenkins. It's only church I've ever pastored, only funeral home I've ever worked at, and
Yeah.
I love it.
It feels like you're a great
That's
fit
awesome.
in both.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad. I'm really glad that you didn't end up being a nurse.
Yeah, me too.
I think people needed you in a different capacity. Not that you wouldn't have been amazing at that, but
Yeah,
you wouldn't have been happy.
It took a while for the Lord to get me where I need to be, but once I figured out, I'm set. I'm good.
Everything happens for a reason.
It does.
Do you have one more thing I forgot to ask? Do you have a favorite Bible verse or a favorite quote you want to share?
I always, I like Hebrews chapter 4, verse 15. I've always liked that verse, and sometimes if I preach at a church or something, people ask me to sign their Bible. I always put that verse. I signed that on my Bob Ross painting yesterday.
I love it.
Nice.
Or on a birthday card. We do birthday cards for staff members. I always put that verse on there. And it says, we have not a high priest that cannot be touched with the feeling of our infirmities, but was tempted in all points like as we are, yet without sin. And all that simply means is Jesus, when he was here, he went through everything that we go through. He was tempted on all points like as we are. So as a man, he went through everything that we go through, so he can relate to you. Mm-hmm. But he did it without sin.
Right.
Yeah.
There's not a struggle that he doesn't understand.
Yep.
He'll meet you where you
That's
are.
been my favorite verse since I started preaching.
I love that.
I love that verse.
Yeah. It's a good one.
That is a good one. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Thanks for letting me.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this segment of the Voices of the Valley. We will see y'all soon.
See ya.
Peace. And then we always wrap this up with our Patreon piece. So if you're interested in our Patreon, go to patreon.com/Heart of Catawba. For $5 a month, you can get early access videos. For $10 a month, you can see our funny behind the scenes content, our
There's
bloopers.
Plenty of it.
There's and forever growing. But yeah, there'll be behind the scenes. You can ask questions and participate in each segment. You can ask questions to all of our guests that we have on. I actually put a calendar now on our website.
Woohoo!
I did update that. That is one of the things that I did.
Nice.
But you can go to our website and you can see our calendar of all the guests that we have coming up. If you're interested in being a part of the podcast, you can apply on the website directly. It'll take you to a form. I put a little
You have an application?
Yep,
now,
I have
too?
an application
Oh,
now.
nice.
So if you're interested in coming on the podcast, you can go and fill out a form. We will review it. It'll kind of just give us a little background about who you are, what your business is, what you're doing for the community, and we will review those and try to see what we can do if your vision lines up with our vision.
Yeah. Is it heartofcatawba.com? Right?
Yep.
Okay.
www.heartofcatawba.com. Very
Cool.
easy. You'll see our calendar. So click on that calendar link at the bottom of the calendar. There'll be a way for you to go apply to become our Voices of the Valley segment.
Cool.
And then we also have the $20 a month, which is our highest tier. And that will allow you to get a shout out. We will plug your business, plug your side hustle, whatever you're doing for the community. We'll give you a shout out for helping support our vision.
Yeah, that's like our most budget friendly sponsorship opportunity. So for anybody who's looking for sponsorship, we also have a larger sponsorship package coming out for small businesses who are interested. So you can just reach out to us online about that as well. But the most cost effective at this time, I would say, for sponsorship opportunity would be through the Patreon. Don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. We just wanted a really cheap way that you can support us, but we can also support you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, we think for $20 a month, you're not going to find a cheaper sponsorship. I don't care where you look. You can
Marketing opportunity.
Go look.
Yeah, free eyeballs.
But for $20 a month,
Yeah.
we don't get the most eyeballs yet. Hopefully, they'll be forever growing. But
But it's more than you would get if you paid, $20 for a Facebook ad.
absolutely.
Truly.
Yeah.
Like we got some reach. We got some reach on the socials.
For sure. And we will put you, you'll be in our Patreon community. So you'll have access to all of our community. You'll be able to message each other. I made a chat box so you can just message in the group. So whether you have a question, whether you have a concern, somebody in our community hopefully will be able to answer that.
Cool.
Cool.
Sounds good.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching this episode. We appreciate you more than you know. We will see y'all soon.
See ya.
Peace.